Hey everyone, welcome to 3-Minute Theology, tackling tough concepts in a post-truth paradigm. Okay, on tap today is the Son of Man. Three things I want you to keep in mind. The Son of Man is a prophecy of Daniel, a promise given to captives, and a promise fulfilled in Jesus Christ. So in Daniel chapter 7, verses 13 and 14, we find our source material. Daniel speaking here says, "In my vision at night I looked, and there before me was one like a son of man coming with the clouds of heaven. He approached the Ancient of Days and was led into his presence. He was given authority, glory, and sovereign power. All peoples, nations, and men of every language worshiped him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion that will not pass away, and his kingdom is one that will never be destroyed." So what does this have to do with the price of tea in China? Well, SpongeBob, everything. Luke's presentation of Jesus Christ as the Son of Man is a direct reference to the vision Daniel received concerning future world events that will culminate with the apocalypse. So why is this so significant? Well, the answer to this question is deeply embedded in the context in which Daniel receives his vision. Israel is in captivity. Now, they had experienced the glories of being their own nation state. They had directly felt the presence of God as he dwelt in the temple they had erected for him. But because of the nation's disobedience, it was split in two and laid bare to be conquered by the surrounding nations. Thus, the story of Daniel picks up with the tribes of Judah being taken captive by the Babylonians. The temple had been razed, with many of the precious worship elements being desecrated and others carted off to the foreign land. The hope of Israel, its youth, are amalgamated and saturated with the pagan culture and wisdom which were forbidden. How humiliating of an experience this would have been for a proud people. In the midst of this 70-year captivity, Daniel receives a vision stating that their present condition will not always be so, but the Son of Man will return and cause all nations to bow their knee to his authority and verbally acknowledge his glory. To receive such a prophecy must have been uplifting to those who knew the glories of the United Kingdom and the woes of captivity. They must have rejoiced that God had not forgotten his promise and affirmed it through his prophet once more. Those hearing this prophecy from the lips of Daniel would have declared in their hearts God's faithfulness, thus renewing in them the belief that he will fulfill his promise. Luke, in brilliant fashion, appropriates this good news in his gospel, declaring that Jesus is the Son of Man, as prophesied by Daniel, thus fulfilling the prophecy. He is the one who has come to restore balance to the unbalanced equation. Life following the fall of man in the garden. And into the backdrop of the fall of man comes the Son of Man to establish his eternal kingdom. Jesus Christ, who gives us life. I don't know if I answered SpongeBob's question, but hopefully you guys were paying attention at home. So here's what the Son of Man is. It's a prophecy of Daniel, it's a promise given to captives, and is a promise fulfilled in Jesus Christ. So there you have it, 3-Minute Theology, tackling tough concepts in a post-truth paradigm.